Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Welcome today to this very special Fulsome Friday. Actually, all Fulsome Fridays are special, but today it's all about you. My simple question is to understand what it truly means to hug yourself. When I say in the poster, it said, "Did you hug yourself?" So, what does it truly mean to hug yourself emotionally, mentally, energetically, spiritually, and in everyday life, right? So I'll first do a little bit of talking. After that, the floor is going to be open to all of you because it is to be interactive. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. Okay? So, as I said, this is not about the physical hugs alone. What do you understand of hugs? Can anybody tell me? Just raise your hands if you'd like to. I'm switching to gallery mode now. Yeah. What do
I
you
love the physical touch
you love the
when
physical?
somebody hugs me
No,
or
no, about
I
you.
hug somebody.
About what Asha,
Ah,
okay. Hug for you means a
ah,
physical touch. All right.
physical
Revati,
touch as if there's a reassurance that yes, I'm there for you. मैं हूं
oh,
ना.
मैं हूं ना. Okay. Revati, what about you?
Hugging for myself, for me,
Uh-huh.
is accepting. Okay, हो गई गलती मुझसे. Maybe I overspoke, maybe I overacted. कुछ भी हुआ.
Uh-huh.
But I accept it कि आगे नहीं करना है. I know. But I
Okay.
accept myself. I खुद की निंदा नहीं करूंगी.
Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. Soumya?
Ma'am, very similar to what Revati said, but with a different tone. That hugging for me is acceptance. Acceptance of everything, the way I am, the way I think, the way I am saying.
Mhm.
It's just acceptance through
Okay.
everything.
Awesome. Awesome. So yeah, all those are correct. So as I said, the hug is not just a physical hug, and you have also mentioned about acceptance, and Shri also mentioned something. Let me just read. What did she mention? Assurance. Yeah. But a hug is also resting without guilt. We're talking of hugging yourself. Okay. Just resting, just chilling without guilt. Speaking kindly to yourself, allowing emotions to surface, where you want to just either express yourself or even rant or let it out. Because that means, remember, we talked about the body yesterday. So you're not allowing anything to remain in this temple of yours. So you are allowing that hug by expressing, allowing emotions. Hugging yourself is also about setting boundaries. Now, this may seem contradictory, but think about it. When your boundaries are clear, there would be no reason for the other energies to encroach upon your space. And that would not sort of hurt you because they would also know this far, no further, right? And I think I've already told this story to a lot of people. Thank you, Seema, because we need a lot of interactions happening. Um, I think I talked about setting boundaries when I was working. So my boss was one of the kindest persons you could think on this planet in terms of with his staff and his juniors and his executives, everyone. And he had a very free way of talking. He would he'd tell, ma'am, he'd tell me, ma'am Gupta, you know what? Just organize सबके लिए समोसे मंगा दो आज party करते हैं. He was that kind of person. So the bosses and the other colleagues, etc., used to think, that what kind of a person is he? He sounds very much like I should say, I hope none of those people get to hear it, but he sounds like a halwai sitting at a shop, and shouting out. That's the way he was with everyone, and very, very uh, intimate in the sense, this way. If anybody had a problem, he would come forward and help out and all. So one day I was talking to him and I said, "You are like this all the time." And somebody can mistake it for being very personal in their space, or some people can create some kind of, gossip about you, the way you are. Even मैम एक चीज याद रखना लाइफ में, सबसे इंटीमेसी रखो, सबसे इमोशनल बॉन्ड रखो, लेकिन table distance. Now that stayed with me because I'm sitting this side of the table and he's sitting that side of the table. And he told me, he said, table distance hamesha maintain rakho. And that's about setting boundaries. Doesn't mean you can't be friendly, doesn't mean you can't be expressive, doesn't mean you can't be loving, can't be caring, but table distance. And with that, you're hugging yourself by knowing yourself, who you are, and not being afraid, what will people say? If you're talking the way you are, if you're expressing the way you are. Hugging is also about choosing yourself, not selfishly, but I, me first. My soul, my body first. My thoughts, my expressions first, in the correct way. Hugging is also about celebrating your progress, your own progress. You should be proud of yourself for whatever little you're able to achieve. Go to that mirror, talk to that girl in the mirror or boy. Look into those eyes and say, you did good. That was great. Hugging is also about forgiving yourself, for holding on, for not allowing certain things, for just being, always stressed, for always being afraid of judgments. And you have to forgive yourself for so many things. That's also a hug. Hugging is also about slowing down. Now, what does slowing down mean? Can anybody tell me? What is slowing down? There is something in the chat.
Ma'am, may I?
Yeah, of course.
Ma'am, you started the whole thing by saying that hugging means to rest. So when we rest, we automatically slow down, right? I mean, our nervous system takes a little bit of a calmness to it with
That's
it.
true. That's true. That's also, but it's not just about the physical rest. It's about, always being in a rush to do 10 things at a time, right? So you don't need to do 10 things at a time or feel that that is what is expected out of you. Even if you do it 2 at a time, 3 at a time, because then you are in synchronization with your own body, mind, and soul, which will allow you to flow through every step in a calm, collected, cool, happy manner. Because imagine 10 things, ye bhi karna hai, wo bhi karna hai, this has to be done, that needs to be taken care of. What are you doing? You're only hurting yourself further, right? So that is not a hug. And I know certain people here who do 10 things at a time, 2 of my very close friends also. One has switched off the camera. And yeah, so this is not required at all. And hugging is also about not abandoning yourself emotionally. Do you understand what that means? Can anybody tell me what that means? Not abandoning yourself emotionally.
Ma'am, does it mean that you're processing your emotions and you're also identifying and recognizing that and taking time to, something like in those lines?
All right. So that is very much, what should I say? Homework language. Okay, school language. Okay. When I ask you what does not abandoning yourself emotionally mean, what can give me examples? Anybody?
Ma'am, it's like having your own back, right? That I'm here for you. The compassion, the kindness that we would give to others, we actually direct it towards ourselves.
Yeah. Anyone else? Please make it participative. This is not a one-way dialogue, monologue. Others, anybody? If you feel like dressing up, if even in the daytime, you're just sitting at home, you're not going anywhere. Normally, what do? We just kind of change our clothes and we are just maybe in clothes which are, we know are home clothes, but still. But if something is there which makes you feel good, wear it. That's an emotional bond with yourself. You want to do makeup and sit properly at home, do it. I know people will say, "Kahin ja rahe ho kya?" No, I'm just making myself look good because I want to feel good. Correct? So, and by the way, this I learned from a colleague of mine, not a colleague, a very, very close friend of mine. Her husband was a pilot, traveling the world. And she would say that whenever he comes back home, whatever time it may be, whether in the daytime or at night time, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., whatever time he would come back home, she would always open the door, not made up, but looking good. Not sleepy-eyed and open the door, and not in her torn nightie or pajamas or whatever. She would wear a salwar kameez, maybe change later as soon as they're back home, inside. But she would always wake him, greet him with us, not only, decently dressed, looking good, and she's beautiful otherwise. And I used to say, "Why do you do this? This is so ridiculous that in the middle of the night you get up to dress up and do makeup, light makeup for him to come." She says, "You don't understand, Aarti. He's gone for 3-4 days every day, internationally, right? And he's with all these beautiful air hostesses all the time. So he should not come back ever to think that he has a dowdy wife sitting at home." That was very impactful. Think about it. It's about, that's a hug to yourself. And that's not abandoning yourself emotionally. Because your emotions and relationship is tied to the other person too. So if you want for him to feel good when he comes back home, you are helping yourself emotionally. It's a strong thing. I don't know.
Wouldn't that be insecurity also?
Yes, of course. It is not, no, what did you say? Who said what?
Insecurity.
No, it is not insecurity. It was not insecurity in her case because she's otherwise very beautiful.
Okay.
She's a beautiful.
Yeah, but otherwise, it could be interpreted.
We can have a little talk on this. Others, you said insecurity. For her, it was not insecurity. It was that even at home, you have an equally good partner waiting for you. It was not about, somebody will take him away. No, that way she was very secure. But she never wanted this to build up in his mind. Acha yaar, ghar ja rahe hain, wo darwaza kholegi. Sleepy and whatever. She wanted to welcome him every time he came home. So that was one way. Anybody else have any thoughts on this one? It's a good point. Revati, I'll come back to you. Unless you have something to say on the same thing. Yes, Neha?
Oh, when you said this now, ma'am, I remember when I was young, I had a friend and we were fighting over something on phone or something. And then he said, let's meet and talk. And I actually made an effort to get ready very nicely. And he was like, no, I don't want to fight with you. When I was, what happened? So he said, ki, I thought you will come all, you're angry. You'll all come dressed up like this. Sadawasa, you will come. I mean, no, why would I be Sadawa? You will be Sadawa because you did all that. So he was like, now I don't want to fight. Whatever you say is done. So half of my battle was already won just by getting dressed up. You said that and I never realized ki I left doing that way back.
Yes, so this is not abandoning yourself emotionally. That's what it means. Okay? Yes, Revati?
As you said this, I remember like my mother used to come and stay with me, and I would be always multitasking, somebody calling me. In fact, I had made it my duty to help all the senior citizens. So, like, my mother would observe that my husband is coming home and I'm just running haphazard. She'll bring lot of flowers. She'll nicely do my hair and she'll say, "You're so beautiful, enhance your beauty. Just wear beauty to be stay." When he comes home, he comes specially for you after a tiring day. So be beautifully dressed, and every time should come with jasmines and nicely dress me up. And I used to feel so good. I'm a cursor clue, but it would happen only when my mother is coming and when she's doing that.
Yeah, so
And
you
we said
wanted
this.
you wanted the hugs from others, you were not hugging yourself. Get it?
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
what a hug is all about. So,
Correct.
and thank you for all the input. So today's session, it's all about How do I hold myself in life? Okay. So, what am I going to ask you? I have written it down. Let me just say it is not many people smile. Okay. We are not talking of physical hugs, that we know. Because for many people, uh, hugs means physically touched, yet emotionally untouched. That happens when you're saying hi to people when you're meeting them in a public place, right? Many people smile externally while internally they are feeling maybe abandoned. अब जैसे parents would say, अच्छा चलो दोनों गले मिल जाओ, लड़ाई बंद करो. You would maybe hug your sibling, but in your heart of hearts, that simmering is still going on, not only with siblings, but in life also. And many people spend their entire lives hugging the world while forgetting themselves. So what truly is a hug in real life? Is rest a hug? Is saying no a hug? Is self-respect a hug? Is forgiveness a hug? Or is allowing yourself to cry a hug? Ever thought of that? Okay.
Yeah, I think admitting everything is definitely a,
Yes.
because last night I was angry and I allowed myself to be angry and I was very happy. और मैंने mentally curse भी कर दिया, मतलब curse नहीं, मतलब कुछ भी था जो भी, I did that. I didn't do it loudly. And I was very proud of myself that I admitted that I'm angry and hurt. और
Fine.
I took it out उसी time.
Right. So, okay. So before we begin everything, you can type in the chat one word that what do you need most emotionally right now? I'm going to give you examples. What do you need most emotionally right now? Don't say, maybe you have something else to say. I'm giving you examples. It could be peace, rest, acceptance, validation, clarity, softness, courage. What is it that you emotionally need the most right now? फटाफट उसमें रेवती says all of it. Okay. Independence, okay. Support, standby support. Comfort, accepting with courage. Anybody else would like to add? Clarity, all right. Acceptance, all right. Yeah. So we all know what we need at the moment right now, correct? Now, before we go even further, place one hand on your heart and one hand on your stomach. Take a deep inhale and tell yourself, I acknowledge myself, I accept myself, I embrace myself. I acknowledge myself, I accept myself, I embrace myself. Okay? So let's see now, how do you currently hug yourself? Let's be honest. Sometimes our self-love looks like healing, less like healing and more like survival. We think we love ourselves and that we are doing more out of actual survival, not more like healing. Now, one by one, tell me, I know I need self-care when I start. I'll give you examples, but you please add your own if these are not the ones. I know I need self-care when I start talking to plants more than to humans. This is about self-care, okay? I know I need self-care when I start talking to plants more than to humans. Stress eating, scrolling unnecessarily, emotionally disappearing, overthinking in the middle of the night, cleaning aggressively, or becoming everyone's therapist. Make it light, but let us know what is it that you need. Like I know I need self-care when I start doing what? What is it that you start doing? Scrolling, stress eating, okay. You can talk also if you'd like to. Let's have some fun. Following my passion every moment. That is, you need self-care when you start following your passion. Seema, I need to understand that one.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
because whatever I want at that point of time,
Huh.
I do it. I mean, I try to do it. I'm not able to do it every time. But that is it. I think now.
All
What
right.
is it that I want to do right now?
Yeah. All right. Because here we're talking of things which normally a person doesn't do. That's why we know we
Okay.
need self-care. Talking to plants more than humans, stress eating,
Mhm.
scrolling unnecessarily, emotionally just disappearing from people or from your own self, overthinking in the middle of the night, starting to clean aggressively, becoming everyone's therapist except my own. So we are talking from that perspective. What is it that you feel?
Okay.
I know I need self-care when I start. So Revati says cleaning vigorously. Sarika says waking up scared. Neha says cleaning. Okay. Scrolling. Who's Xiaomi? That is Neha, no? Who's the Xiaomi phone? Seema, who's the phone person with the phone number? I don't have a name. Okay. Then Srividya says getting hurt for silly reasons. Okay. All right. Good. Yeah. Emotional absence. Okay. All right. Wonderful. Ritu says all of these. All right. Never mind. So we know what our reasons are that we need self-care, that stop doing all this. You see, because awareness without judgment creates healing. Awareness without judgment creates healing. The moment we can lovingly observe our patterns, we stop becoming victims of them. So all these patterns that I talked about, and maybe you had some others, when we realize and we become aware of them, then we want to heal that part of us. The more we are healing that part of us, the more we are hugging ourselves. The moment we can lovingly observe our patterns, we stop becoming victims of them. Does that resonate with all of you? No hearts today, no thumbs up, no clapping, no nothing, not a good session, huh? I'm joking. Yeah. So now, what does a hug actually look like? So I want to challenge the idea of a hug, because sometimes a hug can be going to bed early. A hug can be drinking water timely. A hug can be forgiving yourself. A hug can be declining toxic conversations. A hug can also be asking for help. A hug can be saying, I feel hurt. And a hug can also be not forcing yourself to be strong all the time. So a hug is an act where you stop emotionally abandoning yourself. So today I'm going to challenge that and ask you, what is the one thing you do that genuinely feels like a hug to your soul? What is the one thing you do that genuinely feels like a hug to your soul? I can give you points, but then you'll give me answers only from that. It could be journaling, it could be prayer, it could be silence, dancing, walking, music, boundaries, cooking, nature, laughing, crying. What is it that really genuinely feels like a hug to your soul? Yes, Soumya?
Yeah. Ma'am, actually, I thought of this the minute I saw your write up on Fulsome Friday. For me, every time I accept a thought or an emotion which otherwise I would have thought, which otherwise I would have completely, shut it off or said, oh, this is not at all good to think like this, not good to feel like this. Every time I'm okay to think that way because that's what I'm feeling right there at that time, and I'm okay with acknowledging it. I feel like it's a hug for me because it took me a long time to accept myself through all the colors of the rainbow. So every time I accept it, it feels like a hug to me.
Awesome.
So
Awesome.
thank
Anyone
you.
else?
For me, it's
Others?
being authentic.
Being authentic?
Being,
Okay.
yes, and also listening to music.
Listening to music. I lost you there. Your sound
Yeah,
went.
listening to music
Ah,
and being my authentic self is actually a hug for me.
okay. Others? Dancing while cooking, ability to say no effortless when I don't want to do something. Revati, that's good. Forgiveness says forgiveness to myself and singing. Staying away from toxicity, singing. Okay. Yes, Srividya?
Yeah, ma'am. For me, laughing with friends and laughing at my own silly things, I really love. And being at any moment like 100%, I really love that. That is something really hugging.
Okay. All right. So, how important is it for you to be in a crowd and really know still to enjoy yourself, even if the crowd may not be of your liking? All of them may not be of your liking. If you're able to do that, to enjoy every minute of whatever is coming your way, it's that's a hug to yourself because it's okay. I'm here to enjoy myself. And I'm not going to let one or two of these three people who I don't relate to upset my apple cart. I am going to live life, enjoy life. Does that make, does that agree with any of you? And, journaling, all these are very practical, boring answers, frankly. But anything else that you like to do that you think is something that is very, very enjoyable for you? The people who have not talked at all, can we have something from you people? Anyone? अरे यार, this is not a monologue session. Bolo, bolo. These days watching K-drama. Okay, that is also good. Watching K-dramas, that is nice. Who's watching Desi Bling? This is a show on. You're watching Desi Bling? This is a rubbish show on Netflix. Sorry, Netflix, if you're listening. This is like the pehle Dubai Bling aaya tha na. So ऐसी this show is called Desi Bling. And for me, I watched it for precisely 13 and a half minutes. I laughed my head off, more out of what the hell is this? And I switched it off. So I was wanting to know if anybody else has watched it. And then that's life, knowing to enjoy everything, laugh at everything, feel everything, refuse whatever doesn't agree with you, but with joy. Nothing in terms of criticism or, judgments or anything like that. Yes, Revati?
I was in Mumbai and I had stayed back extra for my bestie's birthday.
Mhm.
So I was planning how to make it funny.
Mhm.
I am the talkative one and she enjoys, okay? So
Mhm.
I thought of a wacky idea and I was laughing all over it and telling my daughter about it. I said, I'll make 3 envelopes. In one envelope, I'll 50 rupees. And
Uh-huh.
he'll say, whatever she selects, जितना भी खरीदना है खरीद ले extra तू डाल ले another envelope 100 and another envelope 1001
Uh-huh.
and I found the idea so funny and Becky was laughing and I written a nice letter also for her.
Uh-huh.
So like I was with my didi and my didi was saying, "तू क्या बकवास करती है?" And I thought maybe okay, I'm overacting. I didn't do. So I went to meet. It was a buffet breakfast, okay, at Marriott. So I'd gone nicely dressed. My didi had taken a lot of efforts to dress me up also. She always does that. So when I went her and I hugged her, I told her about my wacky idea. So she said, "Oh, Raves, you must have done it. It would have been even more so enjoyable."
Okay.
I felt I sought validation for my idea. कि ठीक रहेगा क्या? If I had done it, after all, it's my best. She should accept me the way I wanted, the way
Right.
she wants. Like we never don't have any differences because of that validation. I missed out on the fun part and seeing her laugh more. So even when we want to do something funny, we seek validation for our acts.
Yeah, so
That
that's
takes away the fun of the moment.
absolutely. Thank you, Revati. Yes, Sarika?
Ma'am, can you repeat your question? I don't remember what I wanted to say.
What was my question? I don't even remember my question now. I was wondering what genuinely feels like a hug to you, that what is it
Today I was feeling very uncomfortable. I've been waking up very uncomfortable because there's certain things that I want to do and I'm not able to. So I've been bashing myself up, but today I think Fulsome Friday was a good hug. I got to know some good things, and I think I'll be able to do certain things after that because
Awesome.
I was not able to move myself. I was feeling kind of stuck.
Okay,
So I think
wonderful. Wonderful. So all of you can clap for yourself, that you are allowing Sarika to be hugged today. We are also hugging her and she's also hugging herself. Great. This is great, Sarika. Okay. So
Thank you.
now as we talk further, notice how deeply personal a hug is. Think about it because, a hug, just notice how deeply personal it becomes because not everybody feels loved the same way. Some people, even amongst you, may feel hugged through words, some through silence, some through presence, and some through space. So, an example could be an unfortunate passing on of a friend's partner or some relative in the house, and you are her best friend. Yeah, you just go there or make the effort to come from another city to be there with her. No words, only silence, only presence, and she knows you're there. That is a hug, right? It's a hug that you make it so personal. And the more personal it is sensed, the more it is sensed. And even for your soul, the more you sense it, you can start to hug yourself better. So if you're doing it, because everybody doesn't feel loved the same way, as I said, right? So when you're able to do it through words, through silence, through presence, through space, that becomes very, very, well, soulful. There's no other word. So now my question is, do you know how you need to be held? Do you know how you need to be held?
Just by small actions to me.
By small actions. All right. Small actions which are very sensitive and personal.
Well, yes, absolutely. I mean, without words, if it everything can be conveyed by just that, small gesture.
Yeah.
I remember I was very sick. I was in the hospital and I kept getting worse. And that day we had a kitty, and suddenly I see my sister and one of my closest friends, Renu, they just came. I said, "Kitty, क्यों miss करी?" So they just looked at me, नहीं वैसे ही दिल कर रहा था मिलने का. But it spoke volumes.
Yeah. Yeah. And you felt hugged, correct?
I felt more than hugged.
All right. Anybody
Yeah.
else? Do you know how you need to be held? People who have not talked at all, look, it's a platform for dialogue. So please come up. Otherwise, how will we know? I can't keep on talking all the time. Yeah. Anyone?
I feel hugged with food. I love food.
Lovely. Okay.
So I get something really tasty, like so much love. That's love for me.
Right, right. Okay, wonderful. So food, yeah, food is glorious actually. If you love it and then you eat it and enjoy it, everything is like okay, I can't use the word here. It's like a big O, right? So
Yeah, because like I don't eat food from the road, but I'd gone to my bank and I got this wonderful smell of fish fry, really fabulous Bengali food. And I said, Just put white light on it. I tell you, the food was so good compared to any other place I'd gone to. It felt so homely, so loving, you know. That's what I felt.
Yeah, wonderful. So do you know how you need to be held, people? Anyone else would like to add to this?
Ma'am, when I'm listened to completely, when I'm saying something and somebody actually listens, actually listens to the emotions behind the words and not just take the words as they.
Yeah, yeah.
That feels like a hug to me.
Wonderful, wonderful. And remember how you feel hugged when your little child in the younger days would come to you with a broken flower with just 2 petals, but he's brought it for you. She has brought it for you with so much love. That is the biggest hug that you get. And you allow yourself to absorb so much of love from that child at that time. That is a hug, right? Okay, now let's look at the inner critic versus the inner hug. Okay, how? We all have 2 inner voices. One voice says, you are not enough. The other says, come on, you're trying your best. Come here. So one is saying you're not enough. The other is saying, come here, you're trying your best. So today rather, not tonight. Why am I saying tonight? Today we are going to meet both of them together. Now, I'm going to ask, I don't want to ask individually because all of us are here. Tell me, what does your inner critic usually say? I'll give you examples. You should do more. You are behind. Nobody understands you. You always fail. You're too emotional. This is the inner critic saying, to you. How many of you feel or acknowledge that this is what your inner critic usually tells you? Be honest. Or maybe something else also. These are some of the points that I could think of. The inner critic keeps saying, you should do more, you are behind, nobody understands you, you always fail, you are too emotional. Revati says, okay, your critic says you're too emotional. Okay. All right.
My inner critic says, don't do anything, it will hurt you.
Don't do anything, it will hurt you. Others?
And the critic
Mine
says,
is that you're not. Sorry, go ahead.
the inner critic sometimes says, how can you even think like that? That's so wrong to think that way. But then like if somebody said something hurtful or something, we are upset with them and angry with them, and there's a very adverse thought that comes. And the critic first says, how can you think that way? You're not supposed to think that way. You're supposed to be compassionate no matter what. But then the hug says, it is what I feel, right or wrong, I feel this way for now.
Yeah.
That feels like a critic.
Okay. Anyone else? I'll read in this thing here. Inner critic, Ritu says, inner critic says to do more. Who's this one person, Xiaomi? Feeling of lack. Can I have a name, please?
It's me, Atina Chami.
I know the face. I'm forgetting the name. Please tell me your name.
Chandni.
Chandni. Okay, Chandni looking so much like Neha. I'm getting confused. Okay. Chandni. All right. So Revati says, don't get too much involved in making others happy. See your own happiness. So that is what your inner critic keeps telling you, correct? Now, if your soul could hug you right now, what would it say instead? I'll give examples. You are tired, not weak. Healing takes time. You are worthy even now. Rest is allowed. You don't need to earn love. So this is what, if your soul could hug you right now, what would it say? Any of this or something else which your soul can say to you, what would it be?
Take it easy.
Take it easy. Okay. What else?
You're enough.
You are enough.
You are enough. Okay. It's okay the way you're feeling right now. All right, that's what the soul of Soumya is telling her. Okay, what else? Anybody else? Sharon?
So my soul would say, take action. Whatever the outcomes are, it's okay. No big deal.
Cool. Yeah, exactly. Take action, whatever
Because my inner critic keeps telling me you're not doing enough. Although I'm like a Amazon woman, Wonder Woman to everybody else, but for me, like I'm not doing enough.
All right. Okay.
So my inner one says like, go do it, and what's the maximum? You
Yeah.
can't fail. You just learn something new. What you can't do, you can do.
You know, my soul has been guiding me throughout my life by just one dialogue. What's the worst that can happen? And that has been so encouraging because it has told me to look at things from two perspectives. If I do this, this can happen. If I do this, this will happen. So the choice my soul was giving to me, that what's the worst that can happen? Ye hoga na. If this happens, then this or this can happen. But if this doesn't happen, then this will happen. So this dialogue has been with my soul dialogue all the time. And that's been the biggest hug for me, that my soul has been egging me on, pushing me on, guiding me on like that. Right? Then let's say Ritu says, chase for happiness. Okay. Just lie down, relax, and chill is what Revati says. You are worthy of everything. Cool. Yes, you're worthy of everything. That's what your soul is trying to tell you. That's the biggest hug. That's the hug it is saying, that you're worthy of everything. And chase for happiness means that keep trying for it, Ritu. What do you mean by that?
Comes in at that when I wanted to hug myself, like when I get happiness, then everything would be sorted. So that comes.
Oh, so when I get happiness, then it will be sorted. So again, there's a barter, there's a transaction going on. So that is not a hug. Just tell yourself that I get happiness no matter what happens. I'll try and not try. I will get happiness. Okay? So we have to be very careful with our words. So the soul understands everything because you're still chasing. So it'll make the chase go on. Happiness ka chase chalta rahega. The hug is not there. The hug is that I am happy. I know it's a little tough, but I'm going to be with this happiness and move forward. That's
This happiness, this happiness is my intense desire. So
it's your desire. Okay. But abhi aapko, agar if your soul could hug you, which one do you think? What is that encouragement the soul is telling you?
So I could not get any other word. And
so your soul is telling you to be happy. That maybe, as it says, healing takes time. So happiness does not need to take time. Maybe that's what your soul is trying to tell you. Yeah?
I want to be happy in every situation, but that is not possible for me. Actually,
okay.
I am with that state of mind, with that level of happiness.
Remember that the quality of your inner dialogue is what decides the quality of your emotional life. That is important for us to understand. The quality of our inner dialogue is what determines the quality of our emotional life. So if you are denying yourself the hug, so your emotional life will always be, feeling entangled or in a turmoil because you're not able to look beyond or not allowing yourself to look beyond. Yeah?
Yes.
Think about it. It's a very deep statement. Maybe I'll write it in the group later. So that's what it is. Now, today, just now, I want to now invite all of you to physically hug yourself. Wrap your arms around yourself. I wish I could see the videos. Wrap your arms around yourself tightly. Close your eyes. Feel your own warmth. Feel your presence. Your body has carried you through every heartbreak, every disappointment, every fear, every uncertainty. And yet, how often do you speak kindly to yourself? Stop abandoning yourself emotionally. Hug yourself tightly, breathe, and say, I am safe with myself. I deserve my own kindness. I become a safe space for myself. Now, slowly release your breath and your arms and see how you feel. Anyone?
Ma'am, I just remembered what Jadoo Ki Jappi. I gave it to myself.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. Darshana says calm. All right. See, that's all it needs. You just need to hug yourself, love yourself. This is self-love. Okay? This is the way we can just tell ourselves that, yeah, you are cared for. I love you. Okay, come back to action now. So I'm going to ask you some questions. Give me quick answers. You can write it down in the chat or maybe tell me otherwise. So my question is, you have to fill in the gap, okay? My self-love currently runs on low battery, survival mode, airplane mode, or improving software update. My self-love currently runs on low battery.
Survival mode.
Low battery.
Low battery, okay. Others?
Improving.
Survival update.
Improving. Srividya says improving software update. Very good. Midhu says low battery. Who else is there? Revati says low battery. Okay. Others?
Software update, ma'am.
Software. All right. So,
Improving. Yes.
okay, improving software. Okay. Now, one thing I need to stop doing to myself is what? I'm not going to give you examples. Quick, quick, quick. Oh, what is the first word that comes to your mind? One thing I need to stop doing to myself is
Self-criticism.
self-criticism. Quick.
Self-sabotage.
Self-sabotage, overanalyzing, berating. What else? Good, good. Putting myself down. Awesome. Fred, you've not answered a single question. Overthinking, criticism, putting myself down. Yeah, okay. Wonderful, wonderful. See? And you have to give me what comes top of the mind recall every time, okay? One thing that instantly feels like a soul hug is quick, quick.
Acceptance.
Acceptance.
Self-compassion.
Self-compassion. Come on, come on. One thing I need that instantly feels like a soul hug is good rest. Okay. Self-appreciation. What else? Physical hug. Oh, Sharon, here it comes. Yeah. Peace with my world. Sleep. Great. What else? Okay. Awesome. Now, next. If my inner child could order happiness online, it would buy what?
Ma'am, could you please repeat it? Sorry.
If my inner child could order happiness online, it would buy what? What?
Food from Swiggy.
Food from Swiggy, okay. Be in nature, says Darshana. Okay.
Barbie doll.
Barbie doll. Wow. Okay. Teddy bear.
Bouncing ball.
Sorry?
Bouncing ball.
Bouncing balls.
You
Pani
know,
puri.
when you throw on the wall and bounce back.
Yeah. Pani puri se Darshana. Darshana, I'm with you. I'm with you on this one. Others, tell me, if my inner child could order happiness online, it would buy what? Come on, give me more. There's so many of us today. Pastry, okay. All right, I'll go to the next because no more answers coming. I feel most emotionally hurt when?
When I hear a beautiful song.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. Others? Come on, I feel emotionally hurt when? Yes, Fred, I thought you were going to say something.
Least expected hug.
Least expected hug. Okay. Deep breathing, says Chandni. Okay.
My chat isn't working, so I'll speak. When somebody takes my advice.
When okay, when someone accepts your advice, you'd say that better or takes your advice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Accepts, takes, as long as they do something.
Okay, wonderful. Good food, says Neha. You feel emotionally hurt with good food. When you, Darshana says, when felt appreciated. Yeah. Others, anybody else?
When I feel accepted in the environment.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. All right. So let's move further. Most people are not lacking love. They are lacking connection with themselves. We wait for validation. We wait for appreciation, emotional safety, permission from the outside world. And in the meantime, we are internally criticizing ourselves daily. So real healing begins when you stop fighting yourself. Yourself, not yourself. Real healing begins when you stop fighting yourself. A real hug is acceptance, awareness, compassion, presence, emotional honesty. And the beautiful thing is, once you learn to hold yourself well, you stop begging life to hold you. No hearts for me, मैं इतना ड्रामा कर रही हूँ आज. No hearts, no claps, no nothing. So once you, because this is not a class, this is a fun session, Fulsome Friday. So once you stop, once you learn to hold yourself well, you stop begging life to hold you. Okay? Okay, now I invite everyone once again because we are going to finish it. Place your hands on your heart. Again, take one deep breath. And say again, I acknowledge myself. I accept myself. I embrace myself. I am worthy of my own love. I am worthy of my own softness. I become my own safe space. And now hug yourself tight. Once again. Yeah, give a big smile. Yeah, smile. Life is easy, effortless, and a lot of fun. And now just let me know one word that you feel right now. Do you feel lighter, emotional, peaceful, calm, hopeful, softer? Give me one word. I see the heart.
Soft love.
Light, love. What else?
Hopeful.
Confident, feel sense of relief, hopeful. Wow. Anything else?
Hopeful.
Darshana says bodies at ease, calmer, soothing, Niku says, I feel different, which I never felt before. Awesome. Stay with that. So you just know how to love yourself, right? Now, spread your arms out wide as if you're bringing the whole universe to yourself. And then bring it, feel that energy and the hug coming, and hug yourself one last time in terms of the session. And just tell yourself, the relationship you build with yourself becomes the emotional atmosphere of your entire life. I'll repeat, the relationship you build with yourself becomes the emotional atmosphere of your entire life. May you stop waiting for the world to hug you while forgetting to hold yourself. Tight hug. And with gratitude to your own self for knowing what it means to hug, we end the session. And now you can tell me what you felt about it. Did it make sense, or are you feeling good about it? Right?
Thank you, ma'am. I needed it.
You're welcome. Yes, Sharon?
The relationship you build with yourself becomes the emotional.
I don't remember what I said. The
atmosphere of your entire life.
Atmosphere.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, atmosphere of your entire life. Yeah. Right?
Thank you, ma'am. Beautiful, ma'am. Thank you. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Very huggable session. Thank you.
Very huggable session. Okay, thank you. I would request you to post your feedback in the group also. It will be important so that we know how much of it is really something that we allowed ourselves to love, appreciate, hug, embrace, accept in our lives. Okay? So thank you very much. I'll wait for your comments and feedback. All the best. Have a great weekend and see you again on Monday. All the best. Bye-bye.
Lots of love to you.
Lots of love to all of you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Big hug to all of
Thank you.
you. Thank you. Bye-bye.